Susan is the co-founder and chief merchandising officer of One Kings Lane. And tonight we're going to find out some of Susan's secrets to success, what inspires her, what makes her most passionate. Susan, in order to achieve what you've achieved, what do you feel that theme has been? And we're going to get into the details of the business in a minute, but what makes Susan Feldman tick as a human?
You know, I'm always looking for new things, and have always looked and tried to do new and innovative things, even when I worked sort of in the corporate side. What One Kings Lane has allowed me to do is really let my creative inner being out, which is kind of cool. I able to do it prior to that, but I think it's funny. I think I probably was in the wrong job for most of my career, even though I was very happy and very successful. That's like an incredible part of being an entrepreneur and starting a business. And it's funny. I've had a couple of experiences since starting One Kings Lane where, people will say to me, "You guys are like amazing. You have an idea and you just make it happen." It's like you're able to do that because you're small and you're nimble, and that's kind of what it's all about. Or as we started to scale and bring more and more people into sort of the, management team, I remember we had a meeting in our house one day, and it was really to review sort of the overall creative on the site. And so we were ripping things out of magazines about what we wanted, our imagery to look like and what we didn't. And I remember our new head of creative, we scanned a picture to New York to our creative team, saying this is what bedding pictures should look like. And the next day, a gorgeous photograph came back that looked just like that. It's like, that's amazing. I've never seen anything like that happen. In the corporate world, you'd had to go through a lot of layers and, get a lot of people to sign off. And I think, we've tried, even as we've continued to grow, to keep the organization pretty flat so that we can continue to be, nimble and move as quickly as possible. It gets a little bit harder as you get bigger and bigger, but definitely in the early days we moved super fast.
Did you feel like queen of the universe?
Yeah, well, no, not that, but we actually got a great piece of advice when we first started. With two great pieces of advice, but one of them was to move fast. My business partner's husband, who's been very successful, in the internet, had said to us, "Listen, if you guys want to do it, I think this is great, but let me just give you one piece of advice." And that advice is if you're going to do it, you better move really quickly, because first to market will win, second probably will do well too, and after that it's pretty much a toss-up. And the e-commerce and the whole internet world is changing so fast that it's like you just don't have time to sit around and build huge business plans and do all this stuff. So we literally decided to start One Kings Lane and launched about 4 months later.
Did you have a sense of the magnitude?
No. I think when you have an idea, and I talk to entrepreneurs a lot, and I tell them this. I think you have to make sure that you can have a big vision, but when you start, you need to be focused so that you can sort of, get from A to B, and then when you get to B, you can go B to C and keep growing. So we were just looking really at that near term, getting launched, getting the business off the ground, and we had an idea how we wanted to continue to iterate it, and what we wanted it to be, but we didn't start at that big vision.
Right.